Inkstorm and Bomb Rushes. These are the two specials that no one really talks about, and that's mostly because they're pretty average. But how do they work? Are they good design, and which one is better? Today, we're going to look into some of the most common specials in the game, and one with the most variants ever in terms of all the different forms of bomb rushes. And we're going to be going over how to design painting specials. If you enjoy my content, you can be sure to subscribe for more Splatoon analysis and similar content I'll be putting out. Let's get into it. So, I'm actually going to start this video by talking about what makes a good painting special. So the main thing about these specials is they need to put a moderate amount of paint, and damage in both of these cases, onto an area without completely overtaking it on their own. So what do I mean by this? Take Inkstorm on the zone as an example. If you're standing in the Inkstorm, it'll do some damage to you, but it's not going to kill you unless you stay in it for a very long time. It'll paint the zone, but it's not going to contest it unless if no one shoots over it. These specials are heavily reliant on either pushing or relying on coordination in order to make them work. You need to be able to push in with these specials, and as such, they're the most dependent on chaining them with other specials. This is how these kind of things work. They put a lot of pressure that, while seeming minuscule, when used with a coordinated push, can put a lot more pressure. Outpainting a bomb rush is a lot harder when the entire team is contesting the zone as well, because suddenly, that little bit of extra paint could be the difference in what holds the objective or not. It's a pretty simple concept for how these specials work. Inkstorm, despite coming second, is actually by far the most simple of these two. It's without a doubt a simple painting special. Deploying the Inkstorm just has it travel in a certain direction, which works completely fine. There's a good amount of input in terms of using it for pressure, what angle you want to use it at, etc. It's not as amazingly in-depth as Tenna Missiles was to be an amazing special design, but it's not too simple to be as weak as armor. However, the special doesn't really do anything super amazingly. It does enough tick damage to be pressure without forcing people out, and the pain is enough to be noticeable without being too much. But the special just isn't really insane either. It's just a fairly average both in terms of special design and in terms of what it does. It's hard to really add on to the special without changing it too much, which is fine. The special works as is, but it's not really anything incredible. This is probably the most average special design in the entire game. It works, but it's not anything crazy. Bomb launchers, on the other hand, have a lot more to talk about. I think they're Nintendo's attempt at trying to create a more complex painting special, but I don't think it works too well because of how simple it still feels. If it's trying to be a middle ground, I don't really think it's the best idea for it. Bomb rushes feel kind of stale and very different. Auto Rush, Curling Bomb Launcher both feel really gimmicky and not really like full specials. On top of that, Nintendo's only put each of them on 2 weapons, which only solidifies the fact that they really weren't made to be mainline specials. Burst Bomb Rush is sort of in the middle of that, to where it does function, but is still kind of gimmicky enough to not be put on other weapons. I think it could work more fine because it's much less gimmicky, but it's still just kind of weird in terms of not being mainlined. Splat Bomb and Suction Bomb Launcher are the only bomb launchers to be put on a good variety of weapons. Both are similar to each other with a bit of different strengths and weaknesses. Splat Bomb Rush is a little bit better in the damage aspect, with pressure being killing faster, and the Suction Bomb Launchers, while taking longer to explode, are a lot better at painting, especially since you can delay the explosions. Again, like Inkstorm, both of these specials are fine. However, Inkstorm was trying to be simple, while this special feels like it's in the middle of simple and complex, and I feel they should take it in one direction to make the special feel a lot better. So, what's a solution that could both give more complexity to bomb rushes and allow the more niche ones to be used? Well, it's a simple idea, having all the bomb launchers combined into one, with the option to switch which bomb you're using. This would obviously be giving more complexity by allowing you to switch which bomb you're using for more optimal times. So, say you want to use auto bombs a little bit in order to reveal people that are sharking. You can use that for a bit, and then switch to your more useful standard bombs. Same for your curling bombs or your burst bombs. This would mean niche bomb rushes actually get to be used quite a lot more without being a detriment because it's not good in any situation besides those. At the end of the day though, if we look at Splatoon 2's bomb launcher, it just feels pretty underwhelming. The special wasn't changed that much compared to its iteration in Splatoon 1, and there just felt like there was a lot more that could be done that wasn't. Again, like with Inkstorm, the special doesn't have anything inherently bad about it. It's not too strong or too weak or too stupid. It's just not really anything special. Unlike Inkstorm, there felt like there was a lot more direction that could have been done with it, and it feels like it was just kind of lazy to change it as little as it was, considering how similar it was to an earlier special. As for which one is better, well, it's kind of up to personal preference because I think these specials are both pretty average. I like Inkstorm a little bit more because I think its simplicity was done overall well, but I also am pretty biased in the special's favor because I think the idea of a storm that rains down ink upon enemies is just really fucking cool, just in terms of how it looks. But that's these two specials. I think there's a lot that could be done with Bomb Rush, and Inkstorm could maybe use a slight bit of tweaks, but these specials aren't really bad, just kind of average. I think Splatoon 3 has a lot of time to potentially improve either of them. With that being said, there is actually one more part to this series. We're going to be doing an overall review and discussing Splatoon 2's overall special design, why it changed from Splatoon 1, how good it is, and going over the main lessons for Splatoon 3. Think of it as a kind of overview of the last 5 videos. With that being said, I hope you'll look forward to watching it, and thank you for tuning in.